Hey everyone, we're ready for our last interview for day one of the Staking Summit 2020. We are joined by Eric from Allora Labs, which will talk a little bit about Allora Network. Can you just give us a succinct explanation of what Allora Network is?
Yeah, of course. So the Allora Network is a self-improving, decentralized machine intelligence network. Our core premise is a shift away from the kind of model-centric view of AI, whereby an individual model, it's like the one model, the rule them all concept. It's a shift away from that towards a collective intelligence paradigm where essentially multiple machine learning models come together to collectively optimize for shared ML objective. Yeah, I think that's a
succinct way to put it. So basically, are you trying to kind of compete with ChatGPT in a sense?
In the initial term, at least, we're focused on kind of financial primitives, whereby we're bringing kind of a more expressive, more useful AI to these DeFi applications, doing use cases like blue chip asset price prediction or predictive liquidity management, real-time price feeds for things like long-tail, low-velocity assets, so luxury goods or commercial real estate, carbon credits, things like that, to tokenize those for things like yield protocols or perp dexes or lending and borrowing protocols. And that's the initial term. Beyond that, obviously, of course, there's a ton of different use cases. So things like anti-cheat for gaming is a key one that we're really thinking about. Or even things like kind of decentralized deepfake detection.
Detection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's really important nowadays, right?
Yeah, man.
People are getting crazy with those deepfakes. So this is really nice, really interesting. At what stage of the development are you at the moment?
Sure. So we're in kind of the last legs of the testnet phase for us. Our hope is over the next month or two here to release mainnet. I think we're there, man. I think we're there.
Okay, so we can't wait to hear about it. So in terms of staking, how do you kind of differentiate yourselves with other kind of layer ones out there?
Absolutely, it's a good question, right? So while we are a Cosmos app chain, the key idea there was essentially to establish a logistical coordination layer for the different actors in the system, and then also have the historical record. So essentially you can compose, at the network level, what we do is we compose an individual network level output from the different outputs of those many machine learning models, right? There's also reputation scores, predictions of the accuracy of those scores. So all that stuff is stored on chain. In terms of staking, because of the system that we've created, there is of course the validator set, like the core kind of Cosmos app chain validator set, but a ton of the great folks here are doing. There's also another element called a reputer. And what that does is its function is pretty similar to a Chainlink node where it fetches this external data to provide that ground truth to rate the outputs of those individual machine learning models. So of course the validators themselves have stake associated with them. The reputers do as well. And part of that's the signal that shows, hey, look, here's my skin in the game. Here's how much I'm willing to put up to show that I'm committed to this truth that I'm reporting. So for us, there's multiple actors in the system that one stakes against. That's not just kind of the core validator idea for a Cosmos app chain. So we're working with a number of different LST providers, from folks like TensorPlex to mild organizations, Stake.link. So yeah, there's an element there that I think is a really exciting one, right? So that's a piece of it at least.
Okay. So you'll have these different types of validators. That's what I get from that.
Yeah, exactly. So different actors, and so the folks that are here, like A41, Pool, Block Farms, Matrix.link, Luga nodes, all of our friends that are here joined us at Staking Summit. They're going to be many of them are going to be operating both validators and reputers for us.
Oh, cool. Those reputers are kind of bringing off-chain data to on-chain, or no?
Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, like a similar function to a Chainlink node in that way, right? Because if you say, hey, look, I'm predicting what the price of Bitcoin is going to be an hour from now. After an hour, we can know what the price of Bitcoin is, and the role of those reputers is to bring in that off-chain data. And now, of course, it's more than just those financial use cases, right? I could go in further, but I'll
go ahead. That's,
sure. So
that's what we're here for.
So things like the deepfake there's elements there where you want to bring in people, right? And so there's protocols that we're working with that essentially they aggregate outputs or aggregate ratings from individual users to bring in essentially a human in the loop thing, where we might have an initial layer for the reputers that's automated deepfake prediction, or rather detection. I keep saying protection, where they bring in that automated deepfake detection via additional ML models, but then also bring in those human in the loop pieces. But yeah, essentially that's the core idea with reputers, is fetching this ground truth to say, hey, look, if you predict the price of Bitcoin is going to be this an hour from now, well, after an hour, we can know what that price is. Here's your accuracy, and here's your reputation score as a function of that.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, staking against multiple agents in the system like that.
One thing I see with that, like, for predicting Bitcoin price, I guess you can run a simple algorithm, or you can whatever AI thing you're running, right? For the deepfake protection, I would imagine you require some more computer power, right? Or
Yeah, absolutely. So working with some different DeepIn protocols to provide that compute for both those ML models that are, again, maybe predicting this or assessing this. So working with a number of those different DeepIn and GPU providers.
Cool. That's really cool. So you have like a whole bunch of different people working around your protocol, right?
Oh man, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's one of the cool things about the Allora network is how open it is to participation and how much integration there can be with a number of these different systems, right? We're pretty tightly scoped in what our focus is, right? We view ourselves as this intelligence layer, both for decentralized AI and for blockchain applications, right? We're less concerned about things like the compute layer or the data storage. We're not doing that. Rather, we're leaning on partners in the space that are doing
that can integrate yourself there, right?
That's exactly right. Okay. So even folks like Space and Time, we're working with them at the data layer, Spheron, Atheist, even folks like Akash for the compute layer, things like that. So absolutely.
Really nice. So let's bring the focus a little bit to the summit.
Absolutely.
I don't think you were at the last year's summit, right?
I wasn't, no, unfortunately.
You weren't, so I cannot ask you to compare, but how are you liking the summit so far? And what was like, the first day is already over almost?
Yeah, it is.
What was your impression of the first day?
Well, it's a beautiful venue. I've never been to Bangkok before, so it's been fantastic. I think you guys put together a very professional, really clean, really tight, welcoming and comfortable environment.
Yeah, thanks.
So think of a great selection. The talks have been killer. The food's been great. So
yeah,
that doesn't hurt.
Food's amazing.
Yeah, I think you guys did a great job.
Okay, so. And what is kind of what are you expecting to take from the summit with you? So what's your goal here?
Absolutely. So a big part of it for me is my early work at Allora was to onboard our validator cohort. I spent a number of years at Chainlink, and then I was a director at Chainlink Node Operator Link Pool for quite some time. And so to get to see kind of my old war buddies, that's been great for one. And then just touch base with those teams as we move forward to this next phase in the Allora network, as we move forward towards mainnet, just to kind of reaffirm and strengthen those bonds has been great. And then of course to be here to see some of the talks, it's been great, man.
Which talk are you most excited for tomorrow?
Oh man, I was really keen to see the Bitcoin Space talk today. Kubele, my good friend from Matrix.link, is doing a talk tomorrow that's kind of differentiating between what it looks like to run validator operations for different networks and what it's like to do that for Chainlink.
Okay.
And obviously that's something that I'm
you're familiar with, of course.
Familiar with that, but I'm really keen to hear his perspective on it. Yeah, man, I think there's a big set of folks that I'm looking forward to hearing tomorrow. So
great. Thanks a lot for closing out our first day of interviews.
My pleasure.
If you want to tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm at Linked Eric, LinkedEric, on essentially everything. So
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And then follow Allora Network. We're at Allora Network on, again, kind of essentially everything. So
cool. We'll just add those to the description down below.
That's perfect.
And yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Hey, my pleasure.
I hope I see you again next year.
You certainly shall. Appreciate it.